Alabama is full of ghost stories.
Tales guaranteed to keep you awake at night.
But are these stories based on fact?
Or a result of imagination?
Will we find proof of the afterlife?
It may get spooky in here.
In February of 2022, our crew made our way to Columbia Manor. Honored to be the first group to sleep inside the house during an all-night paranormal investigation. Our initial walk through the house felt like a dream come true for Halloween and horror fanatics like ourselves. But as night began to fall, the props and foam tombstones seemed to take on a life of their own, and something within the house began to make contact.
Alright, so some things we got set up in here. Right there on top of that doll is a motion sensor that it sets off an alarm.
Play? Yeah, that was a girl's voice that said play.
Play?
She wants to play.
Can you tell us your name?
Play.
Did she say play again?
She wants to play. A little girl just said play.
The night pressed on, offering us some of the most interesting things we've ever experienced on a paranormal investigation, including the strangest things our camera has ever caught, seemingly floating on its own with all audio distorted. We left Columbia Manor, very excited to begin going over our evidence and work on this episode. After seeing all the evidence, we knew it was only a matter of time before we made our way back to Todd's House of Horrors. In February of 2023, a year later, we got that chance. The location we had lined up for that particular weekend had fallen through, and it wasn't long before Columbia Manor was back in our sights. So on that dark and stormy day, we loaded up, ready to make the trip back. Sean and Rachel were unable to join us for this investigation, and were replaced with Jonathan and our friend at Strayway Dave, Slim. Jonathan was very excited to get to visit Columbia Manor for the first time, until he learned why we were really taking him there. There's Jonathan. He's actually awake this time.
Wow.
I don't know how long that will last, but we will find out. Because we've still got 3 hours?
Yeah.
About 3 hours till we reach Columbia Manor. So this is Jonathan's first time actually going to Columbia Manor. So Jonathan, how do you feel?
I feel good.
feel great?
I feel great.
Okay, I'm not sure if Rachel told you or not, but we're actually taking you there to sacrifice you to the dolls.
Oh, cool.
Alright, he's cool with it.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. After a long drive, we finally pulled back up to an old familiar haunt. It was exciting to see all the work and changes that had been made to the manor since our last visit. We were greeted by Todd with open arms, as well as the spirits that lingered within. As he gave us another tour, I began to remember the stories of the spirits that were rumored to wander the halls. The ghostly presence of a playful little girl. The doctors and nurses who worked tirelessly to help their patients. I couldn't help but wonder if those who interacted with us were still there, ready to show themselves once more. Little did I know what the night had in store for us. Even during our first walkthrough of a section we won't be showing in this film, something strange happened. Alright, just so everybody knows, we're in the This light is freaking out. Evidently it's not supposed to do that. And I actually noticed it didn't start happening until we walked through here, so that's pretty cool. We decided to sit back down with Todd to see how much activity the house was experiencing after our first investigation. During this time, Slim and Jonathan found themselves just a little bit lost.
Jonathan was gone, but now he is found by me.
Yes.
So we're going to try to find our way back. I think I remember the way.
You think?
We're going to... Yeah, I think, which is scary.
It's very scary.
We're going to go that way.
Okay. Yeah, so I got lost trying to follow them. I was like 10 feet away trying to hear for voices. Next thing I know, I end up... Oh, I could actually show you guys.
I was about to say, like, it's like a dual vlog going on right now. I'm vlogging, him vlogging, and this is...
But I ended up on that bridge.
Yeah, you went the wrong way. You're supposed to go this way.
I don't know.
You silly goose, it's this way.
I went this way.
Well, you're supposed to go this way, right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I went this way.
This guy.
I went that way and kept walking. I was like, Alright, so I think we got it now.
Yeah, we're going...
I think we're good.
And at some point, I wanted to sit down with you, Kayla, and Kevin, and get, like... I want to ask y'all interview questions, like, why do you ghost hunt? Don't answer that question. Don't answer that question yet.
But now I got time to think about it.
Because I was trying to explain why I enjoy it, and the reason I enjoy it is because it's a different kind of thrill, but...
It sure is. Adrenaline rush.
What?
Adrenaline junkies with this adrenaline rush.
It is. It's a weird adrenaline thing where it's like something happens, you see something or feel something, you can't understand it, and it's just like your brain, like, human brains don't work like that, man. Human brain is like, I want answers, I want to know. I was like, you can't know. You can't. I'm looking at two different cameras right now. Look, I'm looking at both of y'all. I'm looking at all three of y'all.
Oh, shoot.
Alright, let's go inside.
Let's do this. We made it.
While going over all this footage, I couldn't help but dwell on Slim's question. Why did we ghost hunt? I think Slim said it best. It truly is a different kind of thrill. Ghost hunting isn't how Hollywood or even shows on networks portray. There's a lot of waiting and appreciation for historic places. One thing though, it doesn't have to be night to experience something paranormal, as you'll see in the upcoming interviews.
Coming up.
And he's right there.
Yeah.
There is something making noise back here.
There's something making noise back here, apparently.
It had already been an exciting day so far. From strange things happening, to Slim and Jonathan getting lost. We prepared to start filming our interviews with Todd and one of the house's actors, William. But before we could even get completely set up, unexplained sounds began to radiate from just down the hall.
And he's right there.
Yeah.
There is something making noise back here.
There's something making noise back here, apparently.
I thought it was Todd, but it wasn't.
Is it back here?
You filming, John?
Yeah, I'm filming.
It was either here or through there.
Oh, I hear it. I think it's maybe some paper or something that's echoing.
No, it sounded like somebody was messing with something back here.
I zoomed in.
I thought it was Todd.
I went through that.
If you're here with us tonight, can you make a sound somewhere in the house? You know who we are, we've been here before, we just want to know that you're here. Did you hear a whisper?
Yeah.
Voices are coming from that way.
Yeah, from the carrier.
I heard that too.
I swear it sounded like...
I heard.
Are you in the carrier room? There's a door right there and a door right here. Could you open or close one of those? Definitely heard that whispering though.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to be sleeping tonight too.
Oh yeah. So we're sleeping in the carrier room, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
So if you wake up feeling a little warm, you might be on fire.
Okay.
After hearing the sounds of movement and phantom whispering, we set up with Todd to see how things had been since our last visit. So we're back at Columbia Manor tonight with Todd. Todd, it's been a little over a year since we were here last. Amazing place. We've caught some crazy things here that I can't explain. I was just wondering, since our last visit, have you had any other people tell you they've experienced kind of similar things to what was on our first episode?
Yes, number one, thank you for coming back,
Oh, yeah,
and thank you for being an amazing place. Volunteers really do a great job, a lot of hard work. This year was a very active year since y'all came. Some of the things that you found actually came true again while we were open this year. A couple of the rooms had a little more extra activity this year.
Sounds good. Just touching back on some of the things we did experience. One thing was we had a hand move across one of the beds in the morgue, which unfortunately my instinct when I heard the sound was to look at it, not turn the camera towards it. But just the fact that Sean heard it, I heard it and saw it, and you know, you said other people have seen and heard similar things. Have you ever experienced the hand yourself?
No, not personally, not in that scene I haven't, but there's been a lot of other stuff. I've been touched. I've seen full body apparitions over the years since being here. In that room you're referring to, the character, I think is going to actually tell you a little bit more about that in a minute, but actually had a new apparition in that room this year.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. We can't wait to talk to him. So, you know, was it an eventful year as far as the haunted house goes? How was your turnout for this past year?
Yeah, we was very pleased. We did 8,843 customers this year. As well as you know, the Volunteer Fire Rescue Department gets a portion or a proceed of our money. We was able to write them a check for over $11,000 this year. Last year we did a little over 10,000 customers. Well, I should say the year before we did over 10,000 customers. But that was coming from being closed down during COVID in 2020. So I think everybody was just ready to get the scare on.
Oh yeah, understandable. I know we love this place. I told you last time we were here, if I could live here, I'd totally bunk somewhere in there. But
I appreciate it. It is really a cool place. Built 1864. It actually has its own vibes and everything, even before we started renovating and turning it into a haunted attraction. It was like it was made to be this place.
I wanted to talk to you about one of the creepier things from our episode,
Okay.
which was at one point in the night, I'm not sure how it happened, just by going back checking timestamps on our clips. There was one point in which one of our cameras turns on. It's out here in this hallway, and there's just these strange sounds I can't quite explain. It kind of sounds underwater almost. And the camera's just kind of looks like it's free floating, and it goes up the stairs, makes it to the top, and then stops. Well, when I checked those timestamps, we were all asleep at that point.
Right.
So, have you ever had anything kind of similar to that, like stuff physically moving and levitating on its own?
We have had problems when we were here remodeling during the year. If you leave your phone or say some tools, you go somewhere, sometimes you'll come back and you'll spend a few minutes trying to find it or say, well, did I really leave it there? But the area that you're talking about is what we refer to as the master staircase. We have had experiences as far as orbs just appearing out of nowhere, blue orbs, sometimes light green, small ones. We think the previous owner, the last previous owner of the house, resides there, because we have experienced several different things on different levels of that staircase. And we're thinking that maybe he's just kind of hanging out, and maybe he just wanted to play with y'all's camera that night, show you around a little bit.
True, and it's like, look what they did in here, this is useful like this. But yeah, we appreciate you very much for letting us come back out. I know it was kind of short notice, but we're very thankful for you letting us come back out. We're looking forward to a night in here investigating again. Even while we were doing this setup here, I mean, we already heard sounds back here. Yes. We stopped, went back that way, and back towards that room. You could hear whispering sounds. I'm hoping we caught those on the camera. Jonathan's signaling to me, are you hearing footsteps now?
I'm hearing, yeah.
You're hearing them now?
I'm hearing movement and hearing not footsteps, just movement. It's little tiny, sounds like little tiny props and stuff.
The house is active all year. It's of course more so during the month of October, but we normally start remodeling around February, and you can always see, hear, or feel or smell things year round, but it is a lot more active during the month of October. So hopefully they're willing to play tonight.
I feel personally like there are just several different spirits in this house.
Yes, yes there are.
And you know, hopefully all of them come out tonight and hang out with us, show us a good time, because yeah, we're pumped. We're excited. We know of 7 actually different spirits from where they are in the house or what they do, or like smells. Some has a perfume smell or natural smell to them. They're not here all the time, of course, but when you're in here long enough and let your guard down, that's when they want to play games. But we know 7 for a fact, just from where they are and what they do. And as far as the children goes, we have experienced at least one little girl quite often. So maybe she's brought some friends tonight with her. Sounds good.
So are you definitely ready?
Well, I'm moving in. I'll take the attic room up there.
There you go.
I'll just slide the dolls over it. Crawl in the bed. Well, once again, Todd, we thank you so much for letting us come out. And
thank you so much. Great seeing you again, and maybe y'all get lucky in your hunting tonight.
Hopefully so. All right. I said it in the last episode, but I will say it again, just because it sounds good. If you're looking for a haunted house that is actually haunted, look no farther than Columbia Manor.
Coming up.
So I'm standing in the corner and I see, like for instance, a shadow come in and out of the door multiple times throughout the night.
Alright, it is officially Columbia Manor Part 2.
What's going on with this thing? Slim, what did you do with your...
After our interview with Todd, we met up with William Richards, one of the house's many actors, to hear some of his first-hand accounts. However, Strange things seem to be happening with our camera's audio. Two of our cameras sound as though there is a large fan blowing. The other, similar to our previous visit, sounded almost underwater. Alright, so we're sitting here tonight with William. He is one of the workers here at Columbia Manor. How long have you been with Columbia?
I think this year coming up it's going to be my 12th year. 12 years. This will be my 12th year this coming.
Started at a good time, October. Yeah. You were talking to us a little bit earlier. The room we're in currently is your room. Is that correct? So,
I play the mortician. Columbia Manor. I'll be looking for you.
Looking for it. They got a whole graveyard out there they need. Yeah, so he's been working here 13 years, 12 years, sorry. You said you've had several experiences in this room and other rooms as well?
Yeah. Mainly in this room, because this is where I'm at a lot of the times. And I play this room by myself, so it's just me. So I'm standing in the corner and I see, like for instance, a shadow will come in and out of the door multiple times throughout the night. Last year, small objects came off of the shelves, which in all the years I've been here, that's never happened before. To be honest with you, freaked me out a little bit the first night, but after it happened a couple more times, I was like, okay.
You guys chill out, you're going to break my stuff, right?
Yeah. And doors will open. The freezer door, the heavy door, right earlier.
Oh, yeah.
It actually closed on me last year. I think they were telling me I was going too slow. I needed to speed it up.
Yeah.
We were too busy that night. I've been tapped on the shoulder in this room. I've heard mumbles, whispers, feet shuffling, pretty much the whole gambit of.
Oh, yeah, just your standard
Yeah.
haunted house sounds.
Yeah. And I also work here in the off season. I'm here a lot. And just you'll put a tool down, come back and get it, and it won't be there. Just creepy stuff.
One thing you were telling us earlier was talking about the shadow coming into the room, and I thought it was interesting because this is actually the room where me and Sean were our last go around, and we had the shadow kind of move along the wall. So I mean, it's just awesome to see that we're not the only ones who've experienced that.
Right, yeah.
And
like I said, I saw it multiple times last year, and I went to Todd, and I was like, hey, I think there's a new one, because I haven't seen that before. And I saw it, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 times.
now you did say that
I think I heard the sensor go off.
the sensors going off.
I think I heard it.
Hey, John, do you mind kind of breaking away and seeing if maybe we can get something going on there?
Yeah. Back here?
Thanks, sir.
Well,
Is it still in the micro room?
Yeah, it's still back there in the micro room.
Go to the hall and turn right.
We'll never see them again. Sorry, I was trying to thought there.
I'm trying to remember, because I've been here so long and so many things have happened. It's hard to remember everything. You kind of get used to it after a while. I know some people watching this are probably like, no way, but when you're around it all the time, because I'm here probably at least 3, possibly 4 days a week, and so I'm here a lot. And a lot of times I'm by myself. I'll come in here by myself, and get ready for the night. And a lot of things they just happen, and I'm just like, yeah, okay.
That's understandable. My wife and I, we actually lived in an old house for a while, and it seemed like just about every single night, it sounded like someone would crash in the back room. You go back there, nothing out of the ordinary. The first couple of times, you're like, okay, what's going on? But after a while, you're like, stop it, Fred, we're done,
Yeah.
But,
I tell new volunteers every year that you stay long enough, you'll see something.
one thing I did find interesting, and I'm glad you're here, and I had experience last time we were here where we heard, I saw the hand move across this bed of ori here, and evidently you've seen and heard the same thing.
Last October when we were open for business, I saw the same thing. But we're moving so fast that when I saw it, I'm just like, well, I got to keep going because there's a group coming, and I don't really have time to stop and like freak out, have a Scooby-Doo moment.
Yeah, definitely.
So I just have to kind of catalog it in my brain and keep doing what I'm supposed to do.
Understand. I'm glad you witnessed it too. That way people aren't like, oh, they're crazy.
Yeah.
The only other thing I can think of. While I continued my interview with William, getting claims that backed up things that we had experienced last time at the manor, Kayla and Jonathan made their way to the EMF sensor to see if they could find out what made the alarm sound.
This is?
I could swear I heard
Maybe this?
sensor beep.
This way? Here? Yeah, it would be this way. Where's that? I hear. Oh, I hear that. Did you say something?
I was about to.
I just heard something. Where's that? I hear. Oh, I hear that. Did you say something?
I was about to.
I just heard something.
Our investigation hadn't even started yet, but strange things were already taking place at Columbia Manor. We decided to make a run to snag some food, and we patiently waited for nightfall to begin our investigation. Once we returned to the manor under the cover of nightfall, the house seemed to take on a life of its own. Something seemed different about this visit, something that became clear while we were setting up static cameras in some of the paranormal hotspots.
What shortcut did you take?
I don't know. I got lost.
No, Kevin.
No.
All of them.
He went through that door, man. I told you.
Oh, this emergency door?
Does this have my name?
Yeah, we'll do that next time.
Set a camera up in here. I'll probably set the Siri up in here. Because I hate the Siri camera.
Siri camera isn't that fun to view either, bud.
Good.
I'm gonna set the SLS down just because it's kind of weird and bulky. Fun to view either, bud.
Good.
I'm gonna set the SLS down just because.
We didn't catch this disembodied voice telling us to get out until we reviewed our evidence. It wasn't long after this that we began to hear footsteps upstairs. Unfortunately, our camera's audio didn't pick those up. I hear 'em.
That was the water.
Yeah, that was the water thing. It sounded like it was upstairs, though.
Are you walking around?
Upstairs?
We also experienced something strange with Kayla's camera. As soon as we exited this room, her camera began to act normal again. The spirits of Columbia Manor were ready to play that night, and we were ready to see what we would catch. Or so we thought.
Coming up.
Alright, it is officially Columbia Manor Part 2.
House? That sounded demonic.
Yeah. Our second investigation of Columbia Manor was well underway. We decided to move some of our equipment into the room we would be sleeping in that night. Alright, it is officially Columbia Manor Part 2. This time we got this cat with us.
What's going on, everybody?
Slim Boski.
I got my hands full.
He's got his hands full. We could probably go that way, which is the way Kayla's going.
Okie dokie.
So let's follow her.
Alright. I think Jonathan's rocking a tinkle.
Understandable, understandable. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Sometimes you gotta poo.
And that's what they call a number 2.
Yeah, somebody want to get this door? I'm kind of.
Yeah, gotcha.
You okay? Oh, okay. Oh.
Alright. This feels weird in here.
It does. Hey, I'm not.
Everything off it is weird.
Look.
Oh, dude, your hair's not standing up.
Yeah. Like as soon as we walked in here, it was just like,
Dude, that's weird. It's like, I'm not really feeling anything.
I don't see nothing.
Yeah, as soon as we walked in.
Y'all want me to, what you want me to put on?
After having a weird feeling as soon as we walked back in, and after Jonathan finished the longest leak in the world, we decided to split up in classic Scooby-Doo fashion, with Jonathan and Slim heading one way, Kayla and I heading the other.
Yeah, the light on behind that's on my shadow over there.
Oh yeah. See, the thing is, guys, we can't really see anything except for there's an exit sign.
Yeah, I'm gonna
right there.
vision off real quick just to show you. Like, this is.
Well, I just saw an orb fly by your head.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Oh, it just flew out of your arm or out of your. You just blinded me.
Wait, what arm was it?
Not well. It shot from your camera, but it came from this arm and shot that way.
Left arm?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry. I just felt kind of like a tingle in my right elbow. Yeah, like right.
Well, that's where the other one
right.
came from. Shot around your head, coming from your right elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Around.
Yeah, sorry, it's doing the same thing on my end.
Oh yeah, but it shot up. Like, point your camera there. It shot up here, went this way, and then when you was holding the camera, it shot from your left.
So it kind of like once you said that, it was like a little tingle right here, then it just kind of like spread out, and it's gone now. But it was like a little nip, and then a spread of chill or tingle rather. You in here with us?
While Slim and Jonathan were experiencing orbs and the feelings of being touched, Kayla and I busted out the spirit box and made our way to what we considered the most haunted room in the house. Where do you want to head to? Head to the doll room, see if we can get some more cooking.
I think I'd like to let it cool off. It's way too hot.
Now we have a device here. Some of you used it last time we were in here. You can actually talk to us through this device right here. Can you tell me how many people are in this house right now? Yes, house. We're in the house. Yes, how many? 25? Did you just say 25?
Let's go to the doll room.
Are you upstairs in the doll room? Hi?
That was music. No.
Hide? Help?
moisture? There's that glitter. Are there any little kids today?
Say play again? Last time we were here, you asked if we wanted to play. Can you say play?
I see an orb right now.
I just had one fly over the spirit box. While Kayla was catching an orb on her camera, I was also catching one. Right before that, however, I say, last time we were here, you asked if we wanted to play. Our camera's audio picked up a disembodied voice that to us sounds like it says, no I didn't. You say play again? Last time we were here, you asked if we wanted to play. Can you say play?
Orb right now.
I just had one fly over the spirit box.
I'm just flying over that trail here.
How many people are in this house right now? How many people are in this house right now?
That sounded demonic.
Yeah.
We do not want demons in here, so go away.
Can you tell me your name? Are the children's spirits still here?
Can you come in that doorway right there? I think it said me. Me?
That was a woman that time.
Yeah. How old are you?
Whoa. I kind of whiff of perfume this one. Like straight up perfume. Did you just walk into this room? Whoa. I caught a whiff of perfume this one. Like straight up perfume. Did you just walk into this room?
How old are you?
We got some other members in other sections of the house. Can you tell me where they are right now?
There's an orb that just flew into your shoe. Did you just hiss? Do you not like this?
Jonathan? Jonathan. Okay, that was weird. I was looking this way and it looked like a shoe just kind of came to the door like this and was like, it looked like Jonathan, but there's nobody up here. Hey, where you guys at right now? Unbeknownst to us, Slim and Jonathan were nowhere near our location when I saw what appeared to be the tip of someone's shoe come into the doorway and then pull back. Hey, where you guys at right now?
We are in the room. There we go.
We're up in the doll room right now, and I swear I thought you were walking into the doll room. Shoe came to the doorway and then stopped and pulled back, and I totally thought it was you.
No, we are, right now I'm looking at feet hanging in the other room.
10-4.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. I love that there's a little bit of light for us with these extra phones. I hate the dark hallways that they've made. No. This one over here. Yeah? This one over here. Yeah?
Slim and Jonathan continued exploring, eventually meeting up with us as we were getting ready to head back downstairs.
Seems like it'll lead us to this room and then disappear. Lead us to this room, disappear.
Probably what it's trying to do, get us in that room and get us our phone.
Evan, what's in your butt cheek? Your butt crack.
That's my mouse.
Mystery mouse control.
Surprise tool we use later.
1017 GBD.
Oh, God, watch your head.
It's my mouse control.
Surprise tool we use later.
1017 GBD.
Oh, God, watch your head.
We took a break and swapped stories of things we had experienced so far. Slim and I decided to head to the graveyard while Kayla and Jonathan busted out the dowsing rods. It didn't take long in the cemetery for Slim to suddenly get the feeling we weren't alone. Kayla, turn it on. Alright. Slim is closing the gate. Nah, I just went right here, dude. What's up? Nah, I've been right here, like, I was standing right here, turned, and went to go look in here. Oh, so it just kind of brushed up against you?
Yeah, or something. Well, almost like I backed into somebody.
Yeah. Nah, I was right over here the whole time.
Oh, dude. Okay, cool.
It's like he's messing with you, man.
The hell do you want? wanna talk to him, man? You wanna talk to us?
I'm not sure, but that sounded like it went, no.
Oh,
No.
do you want us to leave?
Do you not like us being here? I heard that they brought you back to the States in the very same coffin that's on the other side of the sheet here. Are you attached to that casket? Do you feel like that was your final resting place? Do you want us to leave the cemetery?
There is a device right there on the post next to that iron gate.
After Slim felt something brush up against his back, we continued to ask questions on the spirit box, getting back replies that we couldn't quite decipher. However, at one point our camera's audio picked up what sounds like one of the cemetery gates squeaking open. Supposedly, this is one of the many stories that haunt the cemetery at Columbia Manor. Did we capture the sound of Dell opening up one of these cemetery gates in the distance? Are we in any danger staying here tonight?
Can you make a noise somewhere? A really loud noise? That sensor is still in this room right here. Oh, sorry. I got somebody. He jerked in my hand.
It's a weird feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause
Are you in that room? Are you pointing to that room?
Do you want us to go in that room?
I'm gonna go out quickly. I don't know.
Do you want us to go in that room?
Can you cross for yes? They're just pointing in there.
What's in there?
I can feel it pointing. Can you see them?
Mm-hmm. That's the energy I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That I told you about. Ooh.
Can you cross for yes? I'm gonna trust.
You hear that? Here it goes. Ah!
I don't like it. Alright, can you point to Jonathan? Can you point towards Jonathan? Can you point to me?
Yeah.
It usually takes a long time for it to cross.
Yeah.
Now I think they're scared of me.
You scared them when you scared. No, you were scared of the rods.
I am. I don't like it.
Well, an orb just flew out from you. And I haven't I haven't had any dust particles or anything this whole time.
As Kayla was having her first experience feeling the dowsing rods being pulled by forces unseen, a large orb flies away from her. Soon after that, the dowsing rods stop responding altogether. Kayla and Jonathan made their way back upstairs, taking an audio recorder to leave in the doll room. It was in this room, when going back to retrieve this audio recorder later that night, that Kayla had an experience that truly terrified her.
Coming up.
Who's back here? Seriously?
See if that got it. Oh no, it's going back again. What's going on with this thing?
Columbia Manor definitely wasn't disappointing us that night. From feelings of being touched, to phantom whispers. It felt as though it was all leading up to something. Slim and I continued to investigate the cemetery, while Kayla and Jonathan ran an audio recorder in the doll room.
Can you tell me your name? Huh? Whoa!
While walking around, our camera's audio seemed to pick up a voice saying, "Help me." We didn't react to this, signaling that didn't come through the spirit box. Moments before this, a voice did come to the spirit box saying, "You're cold." Was this spirit trying to tell us that we were too far away from it?
Huh?
Alright. Well, officially lost in the cemetery. You good with being lost in the cemetery?
Can you play with this new doll that I brought you? Do you want to play with it?
Messing with it? Or is that you?
Why is it doing that?
I don't know.
What the heck? What in the world?
Maybe something messing with the sensor?
I don't know.
Still doing it. What? Is it us? It was us.
Oh.
Maybe.
While they were waiting to see if the sensor would go off, Jonathan films off to the side of the room. It was here where he caught an orb that seems to fly out of the opening and directly into the camera.
You can play with the new doll?
I just noticed the picture. Something just moved.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. I got it in my pocket. It's loose. Ooh. Just a little bit. I just said that. I just said that.
Alright, I got a recorder in my hand. You can talk to me through it. What is your name? Where did you come from? Are you a man or a woman?
Found the exit.
Oh.
Well, no pun intended, but pretty dead in there. During their time in the doll room, Slim and I had finally found our way out of the cemetery. Slim made his way back inside, while I made my way to the makeup shack to switch some batteries. As Kayla and Jonathan left the room, the EMF sensor began to go off.
Whoa, that thing's going off.
I think we triggered it.
If that was you, can you do that again? Can you do that again? It's going off. That was not us.
Yeah.
We're up here.
We got the sensor going off. We just walked out of the room.
Can you do it again? Go play with that toy, actually. Go have fun. I'm getting goosebumps.
We're not in the room. It's going off right now.
It's playing with that doll.
I clipped it on that little doll that we got. Do you like it?
If you like it, make the thing go off. Make it beep if you like it.
When the sensor stopped going off, Kayla, Jonathan, and Slim made their way towards the staircase, while I continued to change some batteries.
As soon as I came out of this door, it was kind of like a pull you down type feeling.
Yes. A heavy feeling. May just be the stairs.
It moves around a lot.
Dale was there in the barn.
Oh, I heard it. Did you hear that? I heard it.
Kevin said blowing it up in makeup cab.
Okay. Well, got that on film. The makeup cabin. There's steps. Oh, there. The step. Okay. Okay. What? What? And steps. Oh, my knees. Oh, this pain. Pain on my knee.
I had this idea of when we sit on the stairs for like 5 or 10 minutes.
An hour.
Cool with that.
I'm gonna put.
I got the key.
That thing went off.
No, we're in there. We're
Wait,
not even close.
come back down, Slim.
We're not even close.
Yeah, that thing went off.
Because you go through here to get to the projection room. The doll room is all the way over there.
I'm the safest case in the
I knew you would like my dolls.
Cool with that.
I'm gonna put.
I got the key.
That thing went off.
No, we're in there.
I made my way back inside the manor. Immediately upon walking back in, I was met with the familiar sensation of being watched, causing the arms on my hair to stand up.
Look. Oh, dude, your hair's not standing up.
Yeah. Like as soon as we walked in here, it was just like.
Dude, that's weird. was like, I'm not really
not
feeling
either.
anything.
I don't see nothing.
As soon as we walked in.
As I searched for the rest of the crew, at one point I heard a door open and slam violently. I was expecting to round the corner and find one of the members standing there, but instead was greeted by silence. I followed the source of the sound to find one of the doors that had been closed all night standing wide open.
I'm back here. Who's back here? Seriously?
Yeah. We've been hearing footsteps over there this whole time.
Back here towards.
I asked him because he said that he was headed towards the house a few minutes ago.
Yeah. Did y'all open this door back here?
Which door?
Where that guy hides up?
Where you at?
Back here. Because this door's been closed all night.
No. Unless Kayla did.
What's interesting about this is that Jonathan's camera also picked up the sound of the door slamming downstairs, and Slim seems to react to it, thinking it came from somewhere else in the house.
I think that might have been Kevin downstairs. Yeah, I heard it too.
I met up with everyone on the staircase to see what they had been experiencing. Kayla decided to grab the SLS camera. It was here where Slim caught a mist that seems to form and move past him down the staircase.
Oh, well, I can see the dots and stuff on the wall. It just looks like a bunch of dots.
Did you see it? I'll zoom in and slow the clip down some. It wasn't long after this that things began to get very interesting on the staircase.
See anything?
Just y'all.
So did he said that the stairs were put in by them, right? Like these weren't originally here.
Yeah.
You got a problem with the stairs? Like you just don't like them or something? Is that the problem?
Did we bring the spirit box down?
We did.
I can scoot by and get that.
Are you on the staircase right now?
Oh, the girls do.
Yes. What do you think of the stairs they put in this house? No? Or go?
Can you tell us your name?
What's your name? Ooh. Go back. I'll turn it up.
You want us to go back upstairs?
Are you in the doll room? Hello. Return. Can we come upstairs with you? Is it okay if we visit you in the doll room? I keep hearing a female voice. Female voice. Yeah.
Hey, you just had an orb kind of fly this way.
How many people are in this house? Five? Yeah, I heard that. I think he was talking about the rumbling sound. Yes.
Was that you running through the house? No, I just called an orb. Before I started freaking out, I just called an orb into the spirit box and it responded to your question. Oh, did you hear that thump? Oh, did you hear that thump?
Oh, there's something on the rail. Coming up the stairs. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's walking up the stairs. What?
Ah, get away.
Oh, it's following you.
Oh,
jump on the wall.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
And it's gone. As Kayla was catching the figure on the SLS, Slim was about to experience one of the house's many claims.
Get away.
It's following you.
Jump
on the wall.
Gosh.
And it's gone.
Go away.
You okay? You okay?
Dude, something just pulled my pants leg.
What?
Something like... Dude, it was like...
Whoa. Yes. Someone was crawling up the stairs. What the f***? What's your name?
Did you hear that thump?
I heard it.
Can you make a loud noise for us? Bang on the wall.
Slim felt a sudden tug at his pants leg while we had voices coming through the spirit box, and a figure on the SLS. What he didn't know is that this is one of the house's many claims of paranormal activity. You mentioned a little earlier, there's a specific spirit of a little girl who likes to mess with the men who come in the house.
Yes. The previous owner's grandson asked me not too long after I bought the house, have I seen the little girl? And at that time we hadn't seen or heard anything. A couple of us was in here working one day, and we heard footsteps running down the hardwood floors back in the back half of the house, and then we heard a little giggle. And once we got open, some of our customers said that, hey, I thought y'all were a no-touch house, somebody just touched me or pulled at my clothes. And we started figuring out that it's the little girl, but she does not mess with the ladies or anything like that. It's just always the male people that she likes to cut up with and play with.
What's her name? I'm gonna say her name. Can you copy me? Her name is Kayla. Do I have a footstep? I think that might have been him.
I think it was me, man. I just stepped towards this banister a little bit.
Alright, probably will. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. Like, I was standing still.
That was something that was thrown.
I heard like a little
Tapping noise. It was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounded like it was right here by my feet, though.
No, it came from out there. It came from this way.
You going? I'm cool with going in if someone's with me, man.
Yeah, it goes that way. There's a dog room, I think. Oh, I just heard it right here.
That was it. Yeah, that was that sound.
Yeah. Gavin.
Soon after Slim and Jonathan heard either footsteps or something being thrown, things became relatively quiet on the staircase. Kayla decided to leave the audio recorder running upstairs while we made our way to our room for the night. We decided to play a few hands of poker and give our camera some time to charge. After playing a few rounds of poker and letting our cameras charge, we decided to head back upstairs to collect the audio recorder and EMF to see if we could get any more activity. Almost immediately, the EMF alarm began to act very strangely. In order for this alarm to sound, someone or something needs to be standing right next to it, or whatever it's clipped to.
So we're totally sleeping in the dressing room house, right?
The Kelly room is not.
Okay. I would like to try something.
What did you do?
Whoa, dude.
That door just went. Oh.
No.
Just Morse code?
It sounds like Morse code.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, we did it.
After the EMF alarm started sounding as though it was speaking in Morse code, the room fell silent once more.
Y'all have a feeling now?
No.
Once that all night, it seems like stuff will start to be all like dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
I kind of hear it.
Well, let's play poker up here.
I feel like it's either the hallway behind Kevin or the crawl space. Either way, it's the stairs and upstairs. It's up here and the staircase.
Mm-hmm. So it's some sort of attachment in the staircase to this room.
I saw a little like not like a ball, like a little speck of looked like a star. Like a star just kind of appear and then like disappear.
I forgot about these dolls up here. I wonder which one of them will move.
both Slim and Kayla started to feel as though there was something coming from the crawl space. I decided to see if it was a child spirit, if they would be interested in a game of hide and seek.
Are you trying to hide from us? We tried playing a game last time we were here. Would you want to play hide and seek again? I'll count to 10. And you run away and hide somewhere, okay? We'll try to find you. I'm going to close my eyes and count to 10. So just be sure to run loud enough for us to hear your footsteps, okay? So I kind of get an idea of where you are. I got my eyes closed too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did you go hide somewhere? Give me some kind of clue to where you are.
During this time, the audio began to act very strange with Jonathan's camera. As you can see, words aren't matching up with our lips, and randomly his sound levels will drop and raise on their own.
The smell in this room has changed. No, we'll be good.
Can you knock on a wall?
That one right there, Kayla. The one with the speak thing going on? That's the one.
Yeah, I got this little box with lights on it right here. If you touch it or get close to it, you can make the lights come on. Can you turn on the green light?
What was that?
Can you turn on the green light?
What was that? Did you hear that?
The little girl?
Yeah.
As Slim is explaining the device, a little girl's voice is not only picked up by our camera's audio, but also heard by Slim, Jonathan, and I. Kayla didn't hear this, however, and she thinks she knows why she didn't.
If you touch it or get close to it, you can make the lights come on. Can you turn on the green light?
What was that? Did you hear that?
The little girl?
Yeah. Was that you? Yeah, we have a little device here, kind of like a toy that lights up. If you want to come check it out, it's right here in this crawl space. I think that's yours. See, that's the thing. I want to know where the voice is coming from, because when you're in here, it sounds like it comes from both sides of
I
the...
don't know how y'all keep hearing it and I don't. I have not heard a single little girl's voice tonight.
I've heard it a few times.
I haven't heard it at all.
But yeah, it sounds like it's coming from either the crawl space or the stairs. And it's probably coming from that crawl space. I bet you it's coming from that back room back there where the screen is. Like you said.
In the screen room?
I think if all of y'all are hearing a voice that I'm not hearing, then it probably just wants to talk to y'all.
Yeah.
Because last time me and Rachel had to leave because it wasn't even doing anything for us.
Yeah.
Todd said, whatever's here only likes men.
Yeah.
You don't have to be scared, though.
I guess I'll go chill out for a little while.
You hear that? Is that you?
Like a horse galloping.
Yeah. Could be a cat.
That's me.
Okay.
I'm having the latest floorboard.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go chill out in the makeup cabin for a while and let y'all try and...
Get some stuff?
Yeah.
I might head to the graveyard
It don't like me.
do a solo.
As we were deciding to split up, we killed the cameras and began to head towards the stairs. Kayla was in the lead. All of a sudden, Kayla and I heard and felt heavy footsteps running towards Kayla, terrifying her. I quickly started filming again, but the audio began to mess up on my camera as well.
Thought somebody was coming.
Hi?
I don't know if it was you moving on the floor, and I just felt the vibration was there, but I felt it. Oh, it felt like coming towards me.
What up with you? What was that?
It was me.
Hold up. You think it might be because she said she's gonna leave?
But why would footsteps come chunking?
Maybe it
Wants me to leave or wants me to stay?
Yeah, it was like these stairs are dangerous. Alright, I'll walk with you. You got a light?
Kayla had to get out of the house for a while after this experience. I made sure she got safely to the makeup shed and was comfortable with me heading back inside with Slim and Jonathan to test her theory. Slim and Jonathan were still in the doll room, trying to make contact.
Alright, it's just me and Jonathan in the house. Is anybody here with us? Try to give us a sign that you're here.
I walked back in as Slim and Jonathan were coming back downstairs due to nothing going on. We decided to go and check out an area of the house that we hadn't really spent a lot of time in yet. We had heard some strange things from there. It was in here, however, where things got really strange, really quick. Almost immediately upon entering the room, Slim suddenly felt very drained and laid down on the floor. My camera battery quickly shot from 3 bars to 1, and Jonathan's camera started to malfunction.
EP. That's your EP cover right there, Kevin. Yeah.
It looked like it worked 25,000 at the time.
Yeah, that's what Slim looks like. Minus the blue cheese.
Alright, like I said, we're getting close to turning in for the night. We would really like one more crazy piece of evidence before we go to bed. If you're in this house with us anywhere that you can hear my voice, can you slam a door or stomp real hard or run up the stairs? You won't scare us, we just want to know that you're here.
That wasn't me. I just heard something move over here.
Jonathan says he hears something move to his left. While going over this footage, I noticed a dark shape just behind the curtain. It seems to be peeking out and slowly pulls back behind the curtain as Jonathan talks about it. At first I thought it was just a shadow of the curtain, but he films back in that area again, and there is no shadow.
Yeah, I keep hearing stuff in the tunnel. Mm-hmm.
Can you finish this for me?
If you can't do that, why don't you whistle your favorite song or tune?
I've heard a little girl like humming and making singing song sounds in here. Can you do that again? You don't have to be afraid.
I'll show you. Where you at? I don't know if it's because of the light or what. But you see? It's flashing.
The camera just died, but I can try to record it on my...
Oh, sorry.
The ending on.
I'm sorry. Wonder what that crunch was.
At this point, Jonathan's camera started to malfunction, similar to how Kayla's did earlier that night. With my camera dead, I quickly started to film on my cell phone. Alright, we're not sure why. My camera just died, so I'm using my phone. Jonathan's camera is freaking out at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what's causing that.
I'm about to turn it on and off, see if it's just a issue with the it's still doing it. I got the camera's still doing it.
Trying not to blind you right now, son.
I don't think I'll be able to, unless it's the screen or something, I don't know if I'll be able to do night vision in here. It's so new.
You good, son? What's going on with you?
Left side of my face. And my left forearm, where I can up where it goes to the elbow. Slightly.
Are you messing with Slim right now? Slim stated that he felt very numb on his cheek and his forearm, as if someone was pressing on them. He stated it felt as though someone was checking on him in a weird way. Could this have been one of the nurses that used to work at Columbia Manor back when it was a hospital for pellagra victims? Jonathan thought he had fixed his camera. That is, until he turned the camera back towards Slim again while this was going on.
Okay, so I got my video camera back recording. I turned it on, or turned it off and on. See if that got it. Oh no, it's going back again. What's going on with this thing? Slim, what did you do with your possession? What's going on with this thing? Slim, what did you do with your possession? Show itself, and we don't have a way to get out of this.
It's weird because that camera died, yours started freaking out, mine's
still freaking out.
Like he's going in and out of focus.
I don't have no future, they put their head out through that tunnel.
If there's a little girl here, can you show yourself?
Did you hear that? I feel like a kid running through the house.
Can you come up the Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sally, are you coming up? I'm hearing that. Oh. Let me check on Kayla. Come in, Kayla.
Yo, Kayla.
No. Hey, are you in the house right now? What?
You saying you outside? She's possessed.
Quit playing with me.
No, we're being for real. Are you outside or are you inside the building?
I'm in the makeup room where I've been.
Are you getting activity too?
Was anybody outside?
No. We're all in the... We're in...
Did y'all try to scare me?
No.
I'm going.
Yep. We're coming down.
Run away.
Hey, hold on.
As Kayla called, asking us who was outside trying to scare her, the thoughts of ghosts quickly left my mind. I imagined a living person trying to break in. I didn't want her to be alone with a potential intruder, so we dashed out of the house to find her, make sure she was safe. What's up?
Who did?
We were all upstairs.
Yeah.
I was filming that whole time. I was filming the whole time.
Yeah.
I walked out the door and I was taking the air mattress into the carry room. And as soon as I walked out, there was a giant bang on those metal drums out there, and I thought it was y'all trying to scare me. But I didn't see any shadows. I didn't hear any movement. It was just BAM!
Ooh.
And I was like, and I just kept on walking because I thought it was y'all.
I'm gonna go shut that door because I'm too off-roaded.
Okay.
I'm scared.
As we talked to Kayla, she stated that she had started back towards the house and heard something slam against a metal drum outside. This easily could have been that empty drum expanding and making a loud bang sound due to the change in temperature. Regardless, it caught her off guard.
There's no sticks or anything too around here.
There's one of these.
Was it this one?
I thought y'all were hiding them over there.
No, we kept hearing crazy stuff like footsteps and pitter patter and whatnot going on in the doll room. We were in the room.
Yeah, Kevin stole my walkie, so I didn't have one.
My bad.
So I had to grab a different one.
Stand over there.
It was louder than that.
No, we bolted as soon as you said that. I thought somebody was out here.
Yeah, trying to break in. Trying to get you. Oh, poison, keep out. We can't go that way.
Like that.
That was loud.
After this incident, things seemed to wind down at Columbia Manor. Within the hour, we were back inside, settling in for the last few hours of night that we had left. I thought I'd caught everything there was to catch in this episode. That is, until I went back and started adjusting all of our sound levels. While reviewing this episode, I noticed something strange in one of the clips. At this point, Slim is in the lead, walking up the stairs, followed by Jonathan, then me, and then Kayla. I filmed back towards the doorway, and noticed what appears to be a little girl peeking at us from said doorway. Right before this, we had voices on the spirit box telling us to go back upstairs. Immediately after this, Kayla caught a figure on the SLS camera walking up the stairs towards us. I filmed back towards that same door, but there's nothing there. Go back? I'll turn it up.
You want us to go back upstairs?
Are you in the doll room? Hello. Return? come upstairs with you? Is it okay if we visit you in the doll room? I keep hearing a female voice.
Hey, you just had an orb kind of fly this way.
How many people are in this house?
Five? Yeah, I heard that. I think he was talking about the rumbling sound. Yes.
Was that you running through the house? No, I just called an orb. Before I started freaking out, I just called an orb shooting to the spirit box and it responded to your question. Oh, did you hear that thump? Oh, did you hear that thump?
Oh, there's something on the rail. Coming up the stairs. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's walking up the stairs. What?
Ah, get away.
Oh, it's following you.
Oh,
jump on the wall.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
And it's gone. Soon after this, something grabbed Slim's pants leg. Could this have been the same spirit caught in the doorway?
Get away.
It's following you.
Jump
on the wall.
Gosh.
And it's gone.
Go away.
You okay? You okay?
Dude, something just pulled my pants leg.
What?
Something like... Dude, it was like...
Whoa.
Yes.
Yes. Someone was crawling up the stairs. What the f***? What's your name?
Did we catch the spirit of Sally on film? Our first trip to Columbia Manor was a trip that I'll definitely never forget. However, our second trip seemed to be a lot more active. Whether or not the spirits that dwell within remembered us from our first visit, I can't say for sure. Regardless, this trip was definitely one of the more active investigations we have ever had. Columbia Manor should be at the top of the list for anyone seeking to explore a Halloween haunted house that is also home to real spirits. Who knows, that ominous shadow standing in the corner, or those faint whispers you hear in the dark, may not be a scare actor, but may be something that makes Columbia Manor one.
Not of you either, bud.
Good.
I'm gonna set the SLS down just because.
Of Alabama's most haunted.
Daddy.
We're about to shoot our interview with Todd. While we're doing the interview, it was in this room we had...
Time out real quick, I'm sorry. Todd's head is like...
Blinded me, right?
No, it's like just cut off like right here. I'm just gonna raise it up a little bit.
I figured my bald head probably blinded you.
Well, I just can't wait till you remember
Look at, like, go to the left a little bit.
Move your.
What is?
Here you go.
Was it a hair?
Yeah.
We are here in the Columbia Manor. I am dropping the pizza box right now. I did not bring enough hair gel to make my faux hawk, so I tied my bandana to make it look like I have a mullet. Because raise hell, praise Dale, Row, Tide, Sabin, Bear Bryant, Dale Earnhardt, Bobby Allison and the Alabama Gang. Down south, the southern part of the heart of Dixie is where we're at. There are ghosts here, spirits, entities, paranormal activity is happening. The first and second movie, none of the other ones, because I've never seen them, and I don't really want to. I think they're kind of garbage, possibly. Anything that has more than 6 sequels, aside from Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween kind of in there, is not worth my time. Tonight!